And so we're just going to make you test out, and then you can go on to the next phase. So my language phase was actually very short. It was like 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then I tested out, and then I just moved on to the next phase of things.
So that wasn't that bad. At least it's that bad. I mean, you
No.
could have been stuck there for a couple of months.
Well, yeah, because it's like 6 months long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can be.
So how was your process on the pipeline? How long it lasted from the beginning to the end?
Just a little over a year and a half.
Just a little over.
Yeah, for the qualification course.
Yeah. So what was your MOS?
18 Bravo,
Oh, Bravo.
weapons sergeant.
Weapons. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, they played with the cool guns and all this stuff.
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite phases. MOS phase was nice because as a 18 Bravo, that's all we did. We played with guns all day, and then we go to the range and we shoot them, and we come back and then we break them down, put them together, break them down, put them together, and then they give us guns that were like broken somehow, and we have to find the malfunction or the troubleshoot that gun, and tell them why it's not working. But I mean, you had 30 seconds to take a Glock apart, down to the trigger. You have to pop the pins out, take the trigger. You had 30 seconds to put that Glock back together. So it wasn't just us taking apart these guns and putting them back together, but it was doing it under time standards because under pressure and other stressors. Oh, yeah. And it wasn't just American weapons, it was foreign weapons too. A lot of the AK family, stuff like that as well. It's things that we would find overseas. So you get very efficient in learning American weapon systems and also the foreign weapon systems, putting them together, taking them apart. You could do it blindfolded, So but it was 3 months of doing that. Wow. So it was fun though. It was fun.
It was fun
compared to like the 18 Echo who's communications or the 18 Charlie who's demolitions and construction.
They go through the whole.
I didn't want to be those guys. Yeah, I didn't want to be some commo nerd. Working on radios, and I didn't want to be some Charlie because those Charlie guys.
Mm-hmm. Not even a Delta. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I mean Green Berets are weirdos in general, but then if you're 18 Echo or 18 Charlie, you're even more weird.
You think so? Why so?
Yeah. I'm gonna have some 18 Echoes and Charlies watching this, like that motherfucker.
Yeah. So you finished your training and all that stuff. What was your first deployment with the team?
First deployment with the team was non-combat. It was 2008, I believe. We went to Jordan. Yep. We were in Jordan for, I want to say 3 weeks. Jordan training with the Jordanian Special Forces on their compound, but also Kasadik. Remember Kasadik, that big multinational training compound in Jordan? It was the grand opening of that as well. So we were also putting on a dog and pony show for the grand opening of this international training. I mean, this thing is amazing. They have a 747 that they land little birds on just so they can hit the plane, do hostage rescue on the
Really?
747.
That's
very
nice.
Sophisticated. A lot of money got dumped into this place. I know the U.S. itself put $30 million into that facility. But it was cool. So the timing was cool. We went there. I was a new guy, so it's like shut up and just soak up everything. You know what I mean? But also when we weren't working, we got to enjoy like the culture. We went out eating. We went to the different like venues and clubs and restaurants and lounges, the hookah lounges. Our Jorosoft buddies invited us to go watch soccer games and stuff like that. It was cool, man. It was just like this whole cultural experience on top of some cool training. And that's called a JSET. So it's basically some joint training with our partner forces in whatever host nation that we're going to.
Yeah.
That was my first deployment. And then after that, it was Afghanistan.
Right. Okay. What year you went to Afghanistan? 09, 10?
No, late 08.
Late 08?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many deployments you got with the, as far as deployment with the team, how many you have altogether?
Well, total is 14 deployments, but not all of those are combat.
Okay.
So there's definitely several non-combat.
So, yeah, the tempo was pretty high then.
The op tempo was high in SF. Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be 18 months, but it turned more into a yearly. Every year was a deployment.
Wow, it's crazy.
That's what it turned into.
Yeah, it's crazy how different from the regular conventional army or Marines. It just special forces. They call it the dark side for a reason.
Well, and then also, but like on the special forces side, you don't just deploy and then come home and spend the next 6 months at home. Green Berets also go to individual schools. We also have team training. Team training is not always where, like I was in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. It was never just there. Like we went to Colorado for 4 weeks and we took horses and packed mules and we went out to the mountains and we just survived for 3 weeks in Colorado. So you have team training concepts, you have individual schools that Green Berets go to, and then you have the workup to the deployment deployment itself, that's a good 10 months out of the year. That's how much we're shooting. And it's all very advanced levels of shooting. And then also when we go into the house, it's very like, it's a soft level of CQB, not like a conventional level. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so we come in with it. So it's like you in that time, not only as an instructor, but as a student, you become very good at shooting. You also become very good at room clearing and CQB. As an instructor, you learn how to talk in front of an audience. You're a Green Beret talking in front of 40 Green Berets that are judging you every minute. They are literally judging you, and they're waiting for you to fuck up. You know, so you better be sharp on what you're saying and how you're delivering that. So you hone in on all these like different skill sets. And so when I left that school and I left group, I was like, well, why don't I just take this and make it a training company and teach the same things, and the things I have to leave out, I leave out, but then I also just make a civilian version of this, you know, of SFAS basically, of the school. So that's what I did. And I didn't know how to like get my name out there, but thank God there was like social media and Instagram. And I had a young Instagram account back then, and I just posted like little 15-second videos of me shooting, and the page started blowing up. And then I used that to like promote a class. And my very first class was in El Paso in 2017. So before I even left the military, I was kind of teaching classes around the country. And then once I left the military, I really kind of ramped that up.
Mm-hmm.
I brought on some instructors and stuff. And,
Nice.
you know, now it's a full training company, but we also have attached the military consulting side to it, not just for Hollywood, but also for, you know, defense companies and defense contractors, night vision, weapons components, thermals, armor, kit, range belts, holsters, lights, lasers. I mean, you name it.
It's a whole plethora of equipment out there. So
apparel, boots. Yeah, I mean, you name it, we do consulting for it. So either on the testing and evaluation side of things, where they send us stuff and we, you know, have our fun with it, put it through our little, you know, gauntlet, and then we also give them content for that on the platforms, or we come in on the development or the research and development side of it or phase of it, where they're actually asking us for our input on design and features and function.
that's nice.
So it's cool. It's a multifaceted company, and we do a lot of that. And also we're content creators too, you know. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to be these days if you want a successful business.
Oh yeah. If you don't, you're behind the 8 ball. So
Yeah, and that's it. So that's just what it is. And it's a lot of traveling for the military consulting stuff.
do you travel a lot?
Yeah, monthly. I mean, I go to LA, I go to Nashville, and then here within Texas, I go to Austin, I go to Dallas-Fort Worth all the time. Like weekly I go. So it's a lot of traveling for these obligations, but then I also get to, you know, kind of schedule my own downtime, you know.
That's good.
Like the entire month of November, I think I took off. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice, you know, you get to work for yourself and schedule that. But yeah, like this year, you know, we got SHOT Show coming up
Yeah.
Friday.
That was my question. Like, are you going to chat show?
Going to SHOT Show. Yep. It's going to SHOT Show Friday. Going to LA Friday, and I have a couple.
This Friday, right? This Friday coming?
This Friday coming up in a couple of days. Going to LA I have a couple of things going on there. But then we're driving to Vegas for SHOT Show. We'll be there all week, and then I come back to LA to teach, and then I fly home. But it's like a 10-day trip, you know.
Yeah.
So
I think I got a couple of friends. They have their own business. They will be in SHOT Show. I don't know if they have a booth or not, but I'll let you know later if they have a booth, so you can stop by and be like, "Hey, I met Julio." So
either give me their name or give me their booth number, and we'll add it to the list because there's already a long list.
I know, right? So,
Yeah.
what all the stuff between your company and the consultant, which one kind of like is your cash cow? Which out of the two, the consultant portion or the training?
I mean, if we're talking about like what brings in the most money,
Right, that bring you the most money.
Yeah, it's definitely consulting.
Consulting.
Yeah, but that's only because I chose to shape it that way.